The Walking Dead, No Man's Land, the TV show, the game, Xcom, maybe, question mark? Sort of like Xcom, sort of like The Walking Dead. Anyway, we'll get into that. There's a cutscene, we're gonna watch that real quick because it's pretty good. Oh. That's the guy. That's him. That's The Walking Dead. That's him. I know him. This is the TV show. Look, it sounds like it. It looks like it. But it's not it. It's the official game of The Walking Dead. The official mobile game, in fact. So they do a really good job of imitating the TV show's intro with their own little intro. Which is nice to see. Like, they even had like the little zoom in, zoom out. It was really nicely done. The whole thing, great. That's probably the best thing I can say about this game in general, but we'll get into this. Oh no, we're surrounded by like 15 people. What are we gonna do? It's okay. We have Daryl Dixon to help us out. So it kind of plays like XCOM. So you tap and move your character along this like grid. They do their action, and then your turn ends, right?
Get ready for trouble.
Okay. So they move like one square at a time, and if you're within their square, they're gonna attack you. You're gonna take damage. And the health is really generous. It's not like 1 or 2 attacks and you're dead. It's like 5 attacks and you're dead.
They're all dead. Get out of here.
Yeah. So you move all your characters. You go to the end zone, and then we move on to the next mission. Eventually, the loading times are pretty steep. So we get to our settlement. What a mess! Everything's dead. Everyone's dead. The camp is yours. He just gives it to us. Thanks, Daryl. And then it turns into clicky upgradey. I hate this. Why add this? There's no point to have this. At the very least, the 2 gameplay aspects are fairly balanced. So you go into your missions, you go and do the XCOM thing, you come out to your base, and you collect all your minerals and do all your upgrading. Even though I don't like the upgrading and all that, they do balance it, which is what I want. If you're gonna have this upgrading thing, it should be balanced with another gameplay aspect, which it did. And I repeated that like twice because I don't know. Because I want to get my point across, I guess. So we go into our XCOM thing. We got our 3 characters, which is really strange looking. Like Joel and the chick, I forget, and Anne, right? Their portraits look like, you know, their in-game models, but then Ken is like a picture. I don't know. Like you see that? See how, maybe it's just like the lighting. I don't know. It looks like an actual picture of like the actor. Is Ken a part of the show? I know there's that mayor dude. Like I watched up until like the 3rd season, which was like a couple years ago. And then stopped, and I know there's like a mayor, and he kind of looks like him, but I don't know if his name. But I don't recognize Joel or Anne, so it makes me think that these are just generic throwaway characters. But anyway, so yeah, this whole gameplay, section, it plays very similar to XCOM, except there's no cover, there's no like. There's not really like being careful and like scouting out and being slow and methodical or anything like that, but it does have, you know, it's like a very streamlined version, which is kind of nice actually. It's nice. So you get your crate boxes. I love the feel of like opening these, and then they like twist and turn and then they give out the rewards. I don't know what it is about like mobile game developers, but they know how to make your brain feel good for doing nothing. They're experts at that. That psychology of brain chemicalology. I could be wrong, but this settlement looks a lot like the first settlement from like season 1. Speaking of which, I won't get too into the TV show, but man, was like the first season, first half season even, like so spectacular that it just like it went to the zombies, man. Like what happened? But anyway, that's all I'll say about that. I really enjoyed the first season. I think the second season and onward was garbage. So Ken over here got upgraded, increases the stats by a little bit. It's not gonna change very much. I mean, like, who cares? I bet you could go and not upgrade a single person and still be able to complete all the content. But this is gonna make it a little bit more easy. It's gonna make your characters a little bit more varied, which I guess is worth, you know, the extra clicks, the extra taps. I can build a little more farms. It has the whole mechanic of like, click here to upgrade it fast and stuff like that, which is really, it grinds my gears, man. But whatever. You can't fight it, man. You can't fight it. So this is the first episode. Each episode has a certain number of missions, and we're about to be on mission number 2. And as we go along these missions, you're going to be unlocking more and more things, which is cool. So they have a constant progression system going on here, which actually, like they do, like, this is a pretty well designed game, I gotta admit. When I went into this, I was thinking, oh great, a licensed property on a mobile device, it's gonna be some garbage with, the theme, just layered on. But no, this is actually like pretty good. So you can interact with the environment more than just attacking enemies. And as levels get bigger, it's gonna become more difficult, and you're actually gonna want to seek those out. And they're probably gonna have their own dangers associated with it. So I like that they introduce it the way they do, and then they kind of hint at it being like more difficult in the future. So it requires a bit more strategical deep thinking. And I'm sure there's some way to, I don't know, increase the difficulty, or some way to, or there's going to be optional paths, or maybe, optional paths even within the same mission. Anyway, so we got the Ghost Survivors. Basically, we get to, this is like, they disguise it really, really well. But this is like, in those games, like Star Wars or something like that, where you get to collect characters, right? And they have 1, 2, 3 stars, or whatever stars. And the higher tiered starred characters are going to be better inherently, and they're also going to be like cooler looking, or have cooler weaponry, cooler abilities. So they do the same thing here. So I got Victor. Victor is a 4-star general, man. This guy is amazing. You have all these costumes. I think is pretty funny. I don't recognize half of these characters' names, but the costumes do look pretty neat. I recognize Rick, I know him. Glenn, Asian dude. Maggie, Asian dude's girlfriend. Carol, I think Carol was that whiny person. Gotta keep it clean here, that whiny person. Dale was a cool character, sort of, in the beginning, I think. He may have died, I don't know. I don't remember. He probably died, I guess. I know Rick is supposed to be live, I think. I don't know. Going back to the TV show. So we swap in our new character. The new character has a new ability where he can stun the zombies. I'm not sure what his damage is like compared to the characters at the top of my head. I think he does about comparable to one of them. I don't really remember. So as you see, as I got closer to this enemy, more enemies popped up. It's a very common Xcom tactic, or not tactic, but it's a common thing that you'll see. More enemies will pop up once you get into their line of sight, and so because this Victor dude is this like special kind of character, or a special, it's not like a special kind of character, but he has his own unique class. Well, not his own unique class, but he has like he's a part of the class that can stun enemies, which can be useful for like holding somebody up, and then you get your teammates in there, your knifey teammates, the DPS teammates in there to finish him off. So that in itself is a really interesting dynamic as well. Like there's gonna be different classes. You have your DPS class, the knifey dudes, probably high damage. You got your stunny dudes. I'm sure you've got like a tank, maybe a distraction, maybe a scout guy. I don't know, man. The world is your oyster. I even got a Balisong butterfly knife. I used to play with that thing all the time. I actually had like a training knife, which is kind of silly to say out loud. But basically, it was a butterfly. It was like a Balisong butterfly knife, except the blade was dull. So you could like whip, right? And then you wouldn't cut your hand off. You messed it up, and I can still like feel like the muscle memory of like just slapping it around, twisting it, and then catching it in your palm, and then closing it, and then like flipping it back out. But anyway, that's the side. But basically, Walking Dead, No Man's Land, mobile game, free to play, not bad. It doesn't really get too much into the Walking Dead theme, besides beyond just the general zombie aesthetic, and some of these costumes. But it's no more than what most IPs, most licensed IPs games do. It wasn't built up from the ground up for The Walking Dead. It's more or less, they bought like a base programming code and then layered their assets on, just like so many games of this this genre do. But it's not necessarily a bad thing. And this game does a lot of great things. Actually, it's one of the few games that I actually contemplate actually downloading on my personal tablet. So it does a good job. It does what it wants to do. It does it pretty well. It balances out the gameplay mechanics. It looks okay. It's not bad, man. It is not bad. Thanks for watching.